it's Lighthouse Angel Messages. Today I have a message. It's actually a career message for Capricorn. And just so you know that if the title resonates with you and you're not a Capricorn, this could still be your message. But this is a channel where we focus on taking you from zero to hero in your own life. So I've already got the overall energy for the message today, Capricorn. And it says, trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. Allow me, the divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. Okay? So you need to trust the process. You need to trust that God is aligning things up for you. You know, He is the doorkeeper. He's the one that closes doors and opens doors that are all made to be a blessing in your life. So you need to trust the process. And they also wanted me to get you a verse from the Bible. May the Lord make your love increase and overflow for each other and for everyone else, just as ours does for you. Okay? So, focus on love being the energy when it comes to your career, loving and trusting, having faith. Make sure you operate out of love when it comes to your career, when it comes to the people around you, just as God loves you. Okay? So we're going to go and get some more information. I'm going to start with this. Okay. I hope this resonates for you, Capricorn, and gives you some clarity and insight on how to move forward when it comes to your career. Spirit, what's the... We have authority. And it says, clashes with the boss or a challenge to your power will compel you to respond. Choose peaceful solutions if you can. Okay, if you're dealing with an authority figure that is challenging, I'm hearing, challenging your expertise or challenging your truth. You know, Spirit is asking you, make sure that you're operating out of love, as it states in this card, right? Offering a peaceful resolution. Okay? But there could be an authoritative figure coming in because you had a clash with a boss. Okay? But keep moving forward. We're going to get some more cards. You know, don't react to this person. I'm going to get some more. Also, through the messages, through the compass box, we're also going to get information on how this person is affecting you and how how to deal with it as well. Gambling. Okay. It says, excessive gambling can have dangerous consequences. Don't risk too much. Okay. You may be somebody who gambles a lot, either online, casinos. Spirit is saying you really need to, they're concerned that this is turning into a crutch, a habit, an addiction. And you need to go to them for guidance. You need to be focusing on them. If you are somebody who is using gambling to get the high, to get the happiness, or you're using it to fill a void, it's going to come with dangerous consequences, and they don't want you to go there. So you need to check yourself and reflect on why you're doing this in the first place. It's probably a traumatic reaction to a hole that you're trying to fill. And you need to go to God to help you heal through this instead of going to the casino and spending more money or taking more risks. Okay? And this message isn't going to be for any, it's not going to be for everyone. Okay? Not everybody has issues with gambling. But if this is your message, you need to take a step back and you need to reflect why you're doing this in the first place. Okay? They don't want you to be in the pit of consequences because you're feeling an emotional experience. Okay, Capricorn? All right. Maybe you had a situation where you were dealing with a toxic boss, and because of what that is triggering, you're going to gambling. It could be something like that. And God is saying, you need to trust me. Okay? You need to come to me with your problems. Right? I'm over here. I love you. I'm here to guide you. Right? There are others that love you. Don't take out your triggers on gambling. Oh, I went to this deck, so I guess I'm supposed to do it again. Harmony. Oh yeah, this is where they want you. I think this is why I was meant to go to this deck again. They want you in harmony. It says, it's important for you to have a quiet, peaceful work atmosphere in order for you to thrive. Working at home for yourself is best. Yeah. You need to focus on meditation. You need to sit back and reflect. You need to get in a quiet, peaceful place, whether it's out in nature, in your house, because you're meant to thrive in a working environment at home or for yourself. There's some kind of gift that Spirit has given you, and you're ignoring it. I feel like you're almost running from it, Capricorn. Okay? So let me get another card from the correct deck this time. Okay. Nothing is a coincidence, okay? So I was meant to come to this deck again for a reason. And they want you to be in a state of harmony, not a state of chasing something that you're never going to, it's very unlikely that you're going to grasp, that you're going to catch, right? You're looking for relief, and that relief is within God, okay? Letting Him guide you to a peaceful, harmonious place. Okay. I'm really getting from this that I'm seeing enterprise, and it's like, I'm really getting like starting your own business here. That's where your harmony is, Capricorn. It says, it's time to get into business. You are ready to take the challenge and be your own boss. Your experience is enough to create your enterprise. Yeah, enterprise. And it also talks about in here that it says, choose peaceful resolutions that you can, right? But on this card, it says, it's important for you to have a quiet, peaceful work atmosphere in order for you to thrive. Working at home or for yourself is best. And that was the energy I'm getting. I'm like, you're supposed to be running your own business. This is where you're going to find this harmony that you're searching for, but you're going, and this is not going to be for everybody, but you could be going to the casino looking for a quick win that you think is going to then bring this harmony. But Spirit is saying you have it wrong. The harmony is trusting and letting me guide you to creating your own business. And this is where you're going to be finding your harmony. It's not going to be at the casino or taking a gambling. Okay? They don't want you to get stuck in the consequences of what this might bring. Okay? So we're going to get some more messages. To kind of give us some more clarity about this authoritative person, and then how gambling relates here. More to that. It says, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings. turn routine jobs into joy and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. Yeah. So whatever you're doing right now, they want you to get into the attitude of gratitude. It has the ability to change what you're currently doing into a feeling of joy. Joy could be the thing that you're searching for through gambling, right? And God is saying it's all through me. You're not going to find what you're looking for by taking these quick risks, okay? Change ordinary opportunities into blessings. Okay, so you need to trust and have faith and stay in the attitude of gratitude. And you may be saying, well, how do I do that? Seems simple, but it's not. You got to make those steps every single day to change the way your mind thinks in order to change what you see on the outside. You got to change the inside in order to change what everything looks like on the outside. Okay? You can't change the outside. You can't change your environment, your job, all these things on the outside that reflect your dreams. You've got to work on you first to change what you see and manifesting your dreams. Okay? And it all starts on your mindset, your thoughts, what you think, what you speak, right? It all has a vibration. And you may not even be realizing it, but the way you're thinking, the way you're speaking is actually pushing away the thing that you're trying to attract. Okay? Because everything is vibration. So you've got to start, it starts with you and it starts with your mindset. Okay? And you can do gratitude journals. You can write down 3 things every single day that you're grateful for. Or you could do a daily mantra in the morning and go through everything that you're grateful for. Before you pull out of your garage, you could, before you start driving your car, you could go over a gratitude mantra. So but it needs to be consistent. It needs to be daily. Because you're trying to change things that have been in your subconscious mind for a very long time. So this isn't going to take a quick fix, but it's going to take some energy and time on your part and focus. But you can change it. You can change it. Okay? It says time to relax. If you've been stressed out or worried about this situation, Spirit wants you to trust and take a time out and relax. You need to put your faith in Him and find peace in that. Okay? I have the letter N. I'm getting news. Like you may be getting something new, a new opportunity. You may be getting news of a new opportunity, but something new, I just get new or news coming in, but we'll get more information. It says, bloom where you are planted. Yeah. And how you bloom where you're planted is through the attitude of gratitude. Because even if you're not grateful for where you are now, then you certainly aren't going to be grateful for where God's taking you. Okay? And if you're not grateful for where God is taking you, then how are you going to be able to keep it in your life? Okay? You're then going to transform it to ego, and then God's going to take it. So it's very important that you understand that there are reasons for every season that God has you. And part of that is you need to focus on how can I bloom where I currently am? Because there's lessons to be learned in every season. Okay? And through those lessons that God is teaching you, that's part of the whole transformation process to get you to your dreams. Okay? So you need to trust the process. You've got to trust the process. Okay. It says, empty yourself of thoughts, images, beliefs, labels, tendencies, concepts, details, struggles, fears, desires, memories, expectations, personal stories, and social conditionings. Have the courage to just witness and simply be. Yeah. They don't want you to be stuck in your subconscious mind full of struggles, fears, desires, memories, expectations, labels, beliefs, images, thoughts, right? They want you to release all that, and they want you to just focus on God, focus on and sit in that faith, that trust, and that peace and joy that's delivered to you by doing so, and just go with the flow. Okay? None of this stuff defines your future. It's all experiences of the past, which no longer exists, right? The past was meant to teach you lessons. But how can you embrace what's happening now if you can't stop looking in the rearview mirror, right? You're supposed to learn the lesson, take that lesson with you, and leave the rest in the past. Sometimes it's better to just let things be, let people go. Don't fight for closure, don't ask for explanations, and don't expect people to understand where you're coming from. Life is better lived when you don't center it on what's happening around you and center it on what's happening inside you instead. Work on yourself and protect your inner peace. Yeah. And that's what I've been saying. You know, all about changing your mindset, focusing on you. You don't need to explain yourself to people. Nobody's going to have your back and support you better than you can for yourself. And you don't need to explain to people why they're not a part of this next journey. You know, like so many people want to hold on to things where God is trying to close that door because they have something better for you. But you're like, no, I have to keep it. I have to keep this door open. I have to hold on to this. And God is like, but I have something better for you, but you won't allow me to close the door so I can open the better door. You know, a lot of people want to hang on to relationships that aren't for them. God has something better, but it's like, no. I have to hold on to this person. But Spirit is like, well, you learned the lesson that I was meant to teach you, and now I'm ready to close the door, but you want to keep it open, right? And go around and around and around in a cycle that I'm ready for you to move on from, but you are controlling the narrative. Well, that's why it's so important that you go with the flow and trust the process. Relax, right? Bloom where you're planted. And release the things, situations, people that no longer serve you. Because if they're not going to support you, when your success comes in, then they shouldn't be around you. Okay? Some people come in your life as blessings, and some come into your life for lessons. This is a confirmation from God. This is just what I just got done saying. If you surrender, you get in that boat, you grab God's hand, and you sit in that boat, and let Him guide you, and you just let go, with no need to work towards making things happen in your life, but you pay attention to the opportunities, the signs, the things that are guided to you by Him, and you act out on those instead of trying to control the narrative. You allow Him to open new doors and close doors that are not for you anymore. You know, that's one thing that just holds people back and getting the blessings that God has created for you since you were born. I mean, He had it all planned out, but you won't let doors close and let new doors open. So surrender and go with the floor and change your mindset. You got to change your mindset. And, and if you feel stuck, because I'm just getting this right now, if you feel stuck, you're not stuck. You're stuck because you won't surrender. You're stuck because you believe that God isn't going to intervene. He's not going to have your back. And let me tell you, that is so far from the truth. I mean, I have many stories in myself where, at times I did believe that. But he proved me wrong every single time. So you need to make sure that you really have faith and trust, because no one is going to have your back the way God does, the way Jesus does, the way your spirit guides do, the archangels. So focus on that. You cannot serve both God and money. Matthew 6:24. Okay. I'm going to say this again because there's so many people that need to hear this because of social media, news, what society tells you, everything. You cannot serve both God and money, okay? God has blessing set out for you, okay? And he needs to have the opportunity to deliver that to you, but he can't when you're too busy chasing money, feeling that that is more important. And all it is an empty promise. Sure, you'll have instant gratification, but then how are you feeling after the new has worn off? You're still feeling empty. It's no different than a drug. It's no different than, buying in the nicest handbag for some people, or getting a new car, getting a new house. It's all amazing. It's like you're on top of the world for about 90 days. And then that hole that was there before you got the house is still there. It's because material wealth and money isn't going to give you the joy, the freedom, the peace, the happiness within yourself, and living in a fearless mindset. That's all by serving and believing and surrendering in God. You're never going to get that with money, okay? Yet that's the very thing that people are chasing. Status, spotlight, The fact of the matter is, what they're chasing has always been inside of themselves. What you're chasing, that exact feeling that you're chasing, has been within you the whole time. The whole time. And once you realize that, and you find the power within yourself to chase that within yourself, watch what amazing things can happen in your life. That's where God's miracles come in. People, where he makes a statement in your life that's going to have a ripple effect in others. To fall in love with God is the greatest romance. Okay, that's just basically, thank you, Divine. It's just another confirmation of what I just said. To fall in love with God is the greatest romance. To seek him, the greatest adventure. To find him, the greatest human achievement. There's no better love, there's no better adventure, and there's no better achievement that could come into your life, which is the relationship that you have with him. Okay? And that relationship is a daily relationship. It's the same kind of relationship that you would have with a friend, a best friend, someone you love, someone you care about, a family member. It's not a relationship that you have on Sundays when you get in your car and you drive to church. It's a relationship that you embrace and you nurture every single day. Okay? True relationship is someone who accepts your past, supports your present, loves you, and encourages your future. Okay. And that's what God does, right? He accepts and forgives you for your past. He supports you where you are, right? By guiding you, by showing up when it's necessary in your life. He doesn't want you to struggle, okay? But sometimes struggle is necessary for growth. It's not only sometimes, it is necessary for growth, right? Nobody grows when everything is just amazing. You know, God is delivering all the blessings, right? That's another season. But in order to get those seasons, you have to go through that transformation. Well, what is it going to take for you to go through that transformation? Well, in some cases, for some people, it takes excruciating pain. For others, not so much. You know, everybody is on a different journey. Everybody is being molded and shaped in different ways, right? With different experiences. But you've got to trust the process. Okay? And know that He loves you and is here to support your future. And I'm also getting this. Only surround yourself with people who accept your past, love who you are currently, and encourages and supports your future and your successes. If someone is jealous, someone is, you feel, if you're hanging around this person and you feel drained, or you feel like they're jealous of you or want to steal your light, okay, they're not for you, okay? They're trying to take what you have, but what you have is meant for you, okay? That's what God wants for you. There's no need to be perfect to inspire others. Let others get inspired by how you deal with your imperfections. Yes, don't let what's happened in Capricorn, don't let what has happened in the past keep you back from inspiring others, because God has magical ways of taking your story and turning it into an inspiration, okay? Even through your bad decisions, through your imperfections, through what you feel is your imperfections, but to Him, it's beautiful, like a beautiful diamond, you know? You know, diamonds are created under pressure, right? Not under, not under ease. It didn't come easy, right? To create that diamond, it has to go under pressure. You know, don't let your imperfections hold you back. You know, if you feel like you're not good enough, then you need to be working on your confidence and self-worth and going within. Because God sees your imperfections as blessings. They're not meant to keep you stuck. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. Yes. And that's about surrendering to the journey, right? God can't make moves in your life if you're not allowing Him the space to do so, right? If you're trying to control the moves and the narrative and, forcing your own agenda, then how is God supposed to make the magic and the miracles happen in your life? The only way He's going to be able to do that is when you sit back, sit still, relax, breathe, trust. Again, this is another confirmation of trust, and let go. Right? And let me tell you, it's really amazing how all of a sudden how you used to feel inside changes. You may have been somebody who was full of anxiety or worry or stress or fear. And then once you trust and let go, how peaceful you feel. You know, the simple things bring you joy. It's because you've released the negativity and the darkness that you've been holding on to. It says, dysfunctional parents do not apologize. It is one feature that the children of narcissists would instantly agree on. They will lie and justify themselves, but never accept they did anything wrong. Okay, this isn't going to be for all of you, but this may be for some of you. That if you grew up in a dysfunctional household with narcissistic parents, this is your confirmation, right? And when it comes to that, if you're someone who's waiting for an apology, you're probably most likely not going to get it, because then they would have to own what they did, right? But to them, they will always lie and justify themselves. They never want to accept that they did anything wrong, right? But so you just need to rise above that. See it for who they are. And with these type of people, you have to have strong boundaries, even if they're your parents. You know, I can attest to that. I have narcissistic parents, and I have to hold strong boundaries. And narcissists don't like boundaries. They're going to get mad. They're going to fight. They're going to make you feel guilty. They're going to make you feel less about yourself. But that's just a reflection of them, right? They're projecting all of their wounds onto you, and you're not meant to be a punching bag. Parents are not, right? You're in the business right now of connecting with God and healing. And if there's anything that gets in that way, you need to make sure you hold strong boundaries, because these types of people never want to see you outshine them. Better yet, be a bright light for others. So don't let these people get in the way. You know, whatever they say, however reaction, just you need to see it from a perspective of, wow, they're unhealed. They chose a different path. They chose not to work on themselves, and now they're spewing their pain onto me, and that is not my burden to carry. Okay? Whatever happened to you as a child, you didn't deserve it, but it is your job to heal it, right? Just like it's their job to have healed their traumas, but they chose not to. Okay? But you're choosing to heal that, right? So don't let them get in the way because they chose not to. They chose not to work on themselves and stay in this toxic energy, right? And don't take on their traumas and their wounds as your own and start carrying them around when they were never yours to carry. It's so important. You know, for many years of my life, I carried around other people's wounds and thought they were mine. But they were never mine to carry. So once you release them, it frees you. It frees you to get in a line with the person God was, always meant for you to be. Okay? And, it's unfortunate that not everybody takes the path of healing. And it's never too late either. No matter what age you are, it's never too late. But healing is, like I was saying earlier, you got to heal and work on the inside in order to change the outside. But everybody's chasing money, status, views, likes, subscribers, all kinds of things on the outside to get what they should be working on the inside for. Choose kindness. Yeah, no matter what this your narcissistic parents, or it could be friends, family, whoever that may be, don't let them change your heart. Always operate out of love and choose kindness. Okay, Capricorn? It says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Okay, and I'm going to say this again, and I'll explain. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Okay, and this is where I was talking to you about really going deep and healing all those deep layers of thought, of words, the way you've been operating through the mind and speaking. Because if you think you can't start this business and be successful, well, then you're going to be right. But if you think that you can be successful in this business, well, then you're going to be right. It really is all in the matter of the way you think and the way you speak. Because what happens is, as you change your vibration, and this is where I was saying it all starts within, as you change your vibration on how you think, feel, and speak, then things shift. It's almost like God takes you to another vibrational level that you're ready for, and then next thing you know, it aligns all the people, all the opportunities, right? Start coming to you that you never saw coming. Okay? It's because now you're in an energy to attract that. Where before you were thinking you can't, and guess what was happening? You were attracting things that would confirm that you can't. You know, narcissistic people, you know, toxic bosses, you know, unhealthy work environment, you know, it all was confirming what you thought. So to change the energy, you have to change the way you think, speak, and feel, and it has to be authentic. So another part of it is getting into your authentic self. Not letting anybody tell you any different. That's the way God created you. Spend your life in your own way. Yeah. Again, this is talking about business. You know, working, doing a job that you love for yourself, right? And doing it your own way. Creating a business and an opportunity for yourself that you love. Doing things the way you want to do that, okay? Again, keep your mindset, your beliefs, and the way you speak and align with what you want to manifest in your life, okay? And this is something you have to focus on and take it one day at a time, okay? One day at a time. And as you start changing and changing, as you change your thoughts, your words, and your beliefs, right? You're going to noticing a shift. Your awareness is going to shift. And then all of a sudden you're going to see how people, what energetic level they're in and how it's different from yours. You're going to notice the shift. And when you notice that shift, you're going to feel that things are changing, okay? But don't let other people get in the way because you want to choose a different path. It says, I release all fears and doubts about money, and I embrace a mindset of abundance and financial freedom. Right. And this is talking about mindset, you know. And it also is like you cannot serve both God and money, right? God is saying, focus on me and I'll take care of you. You know, I'll bring you your financial freedom. You don't need to gamble to try to get it. I will bring it to you. But where's your trust? Where's your faith? Where's your gratitude where I planted you? Because there are lessons to be learned in every situation. What you think is a bad situation, you need to have a different perspective because God is showing you something. Make yourself a priority. Yeah, you might be somebody who's constantly catering to other people, outside influences, and not focusing on yourself, not going within, creating a life of your own way, the way you want it, what you want. And you're listening to narcissistic parents who think they know best, when God is like, I'm here, I just need you to trust. I just need you to trust and know that chasing money isn't going to get you what you want. It's gratitude. Okay? Let your light shine, Matthew 5:16. Yeah. Whoever I'm speaking to, Capricorn, you have a bright light, and God is waiting for you to shine that bright light so you can be an inspiration for others, right? While you sit here and think that you have too many imperfections, or you couldn't be an inspiration for others, I'm here telling you that you're wrong. God is here telling you that you're wrong. That he created you with a bright light. He needs you to shine it. That light is never needed more than it is right now. There are so many people that are lost, that are looking for a way out, or are looking for a new way, or are looking for themselves, right? Their soul. Anybody who's a light worker, who is an angel, an earth angel, we're all needed right now. So you need to get in your alignment. You need to get aligned with God, and you need to make that your priority. Make yourself, your bright light, a priority. Okay, Capricorn? No matter how many mistakes you make or how slow your progress, you're still way ahead or everyone who isn't. Okay, let me start over. Sorry about that. No matter how many mistakes you make or how slow your progress, you're still way ahead from everyone who isn't trying. Okay? So, Spirit just wants you to try. Put the effort in. You know, if you're like, well, I'm lost. I don't know what that is. I don't know how I can inspire others. I don't know what I'm being guided to. And I'm telling you, you need to ask for a sign. You know, so many people, I'm telling you, when you raise your vibration and you get in line with your higher self, right? You let go of all the baggage that is keeping you in the darkness, then you'll start seeing God's signs. You'll start hearing God speak to you, right? So, listen, ask for a sign. Ask God for a sign. What is it that you want me to invest in that is going to bring me this harmony I'm looking for? Maybe you already know and you just are sitting in fear about money. Okay? And I'm telling you, I am speaking to you as somebody who is saying, and it's for me, is that you need to trust in Him that is going to be provided. Okay? Trust and surrender. And if you don't know the answer, okay, trying to find a solution is not always the best. Sometimes you just need to step back and focus on your alignment. Focus on being aligned in the highest vibration so that you can get those downloads, you can get those messages, you know? Okay. You know, you need to believe that you can be victorious. If you believe that you can't do this, then how are you going to reach your dreams? Okay? Don't let your childhood, you know, choices in the past hold you back, right? Look at it from a different perspective. What was it meant to show you that you didn't get at that time, but you can get it now, right? Like having narcissistic parents, right? They have their own traumas, their own wounds. They didn't heal. But that's not your problem, and it's certainly not your journey, and you don't need to carry that baggage for them so they feel relief. You need to give it back to them, and they have to carry it, right? You're not meant to carry someone else's wounds that they didn't want to deal with. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Yeah. When you're in a mindset of gratitude and being thankful for everything and just trusting the process, what's holding you back? You know, it releases all the resistance from getting your life unstuck to moving. When you release and let God guide you, it's like you get rid of all that resistance that has been holding that boat in place. And it allows it to move smoothly while you hold hands with God as He guides you, right? And that's where He wants you. Okay, believing in yourself, being grateful for where you are. When you are grateful for where you are, it also opens your mind to seeing a different perspective. Like, man, you know, and once you get to your blessings, where what God has set for you, right? You're going to look back and say, wow, if I didn't go through that, I would have never become the person I am today with this opportunity, right? But you have to have a different mindset when you're on those stepping stones. You can't look at it as, well, it's never going to happen because I'm over here and this is my dream. How am I going to get from here to here, right? You be grateful for where you are, pay attention and have awareness of what God's trying to teach you and learn where you are. And then next, there'll be another stepping stone that He'll send you to for the next lesson. And then next thing you know, your blessing has arrived. And you're going to look back and be like, wow, those were all not meant to keep me stuck there. They were all meant to teach me something, to give me strength, power, you know, and confidence to now accept what's coming in. You can't go from nothing to everything, because you would lose it. You don't have all the foundation that you need to be successful with what God is delivering to you. And let me tell you, it's going to be much bigger than any plan that you have for yourself once you surrender and let Him guide you. Not your agenda. Allow His agenda. Okay, Capricorn? So I'm going to get you an angel number. And this is the number of a sign that the divine is with you and guiding you. But also, this is a sign that this is your message, okay? So if you see this sign, know that God is with you and He is guiding you, okay? All right, what angel number do we want to give for Capricorn to provide them peace of your presence? Okay, number 8, I am successful. This is a mantra you need to work on. Affirmations is a good one to start changing your subconscious mind, doing all the I ams. You know, pick 20 of them, do those every morning, and then the next week, pick 20 different ones and do those, right? You need to say them until you believe them. And at first, it's going to feel awkward because you're changing, okay? If you're uncomfortable, you're changing, okay? But the other side of uncomfortable is your masterpiece. You're never going to change by staying in your comfort zone. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same. And that can be, you know, that can be just more destructive than getting uncomfortable. So just know that if you feel uncomfortable, you're on the right path, okay? But God is here saying that you are successful. You will be successful. You need to trust me. Your talent for setting and reaching goals is like no other. You are self-sufficient and capable of achieving your ambitions. 8 representing the ebb and flow, the infinite loop of creation. Okay? So if there's something that you want to create, Capricorn, you know, a passion project, something that's been on your mind, ask for signs, but don't waste any more time. It's time to get started. It's time to start believing in yourself. Let your light shine. Okay? All right, Capricorn, that's the message I have for you. I hope it resonates. I hope that This helps you in moving forward and gives you some insight on how to become the hero in your own story. Okay, Capricorn? I send you so much love and light, and I wish you the best of luck. Take care. Bye.